good running offenses. I mean, Green Bay was running the ball really well, so was Baltimore. Um, Cincinnati is more of a passing offense, so um, it's one of the major things we have to do is stop the run. Um, Two different running backs. You got to protect your edges. You got to defend all 53 and third, particularly with Gibbs. And then there's a lot of passes that are just extension of the run game, a lot of screen game, a lot of quicks. Um, Even the checkdowns are sort of an extension of the run game. So our ability to play run defense, our ability to tackle in the open field, that's a major part of this game plan going forward.
He's entitled to his opinion. He hasn't seen a defensive, front like ours, and he's entitled to say what he wants, and we have the privilege to see, who's right, and I think it'll be a battle of ideologies, and I think our DC also has some things to say, and we have to be the ones to put it into action, and so we have to meet and see who's right.
All right, man. Apparently, we having this back and forth between John Morton and the Browns defense. Now, apparently, I didn't see it, and I'll try to find it clipped up. My mic broke, so hopefully, I got a backup one. I'm gonna end up getting a better one. The first one I bought, it only worked with iPhones. Ended up getting an iPhone, but that was way before. And then the other one I got, it's pretty cool. I think I could spend a lot more, get a better quality out of it. But yeah, apparently, John Morton, I didn't see the comments, but he made them. And I'll try to pull it up if I remember. He said that, the Cleveland Browns defense haven't seen a run game like the Lions. So, Jim Schwartz, former Lions head coach, I think last time he was like their defensive coordinator, they beat us. Remember they carried him off the field or something like that. So he basically, he made his little answer. And then, Myles Garrett, they basically bring it on. They basically we about to shut that shit up. They talked about, Derrick Henry not being hard to tackle. They stopped Derrick Henry, and if you was a betting man, you probably gonna bet on the Cleveland Browns defense because that's all they got. You know what I'm saying? That's all they got. So, but for the most part, it's a challenge. It's gonna, they coming into our house. They gonna challenge our run game. We gonna challenge them. And yeah, we ran all over Baltimore, ran all over Chicago. But last time we seen another good defense, I mean, we had trouble moving against the Green Bay Packers, which we thought when they lost the big fella in the middle that they'd be a little bit softer. So I don't know what happened. There was a lot of miscommunication going up front. So this is the test. Remember you kind of had some practice tests here. Now this is another real test. Can you run the ball against Cleveland? Can you move the ball against Cleveland? And, if they can move the ball against Cleveland, shout out to them. Cleveland's a good defense. Good defenses travel everywhere. Whether they outside, whether they in a dome, they come in to take the challenge. They know, one big play and they out the game. So they understand the challenge. So this would be a badass challenge. Badass versus badass. I think Myles Garrett is the best edge rusher in football, one of the best defenders in football. I probably would say he's the second best defender in football behind Jalen Carter. And I just think Jalen Carter he's just more disruptive in what he does. And that's my opinion. He's the best defender in football. Everything he does for Philly, they don't win without him. I tell you that. He's just as important as anybody not named Jalen Hurts. So that's why a lot of people in Detroit wanted him on the squad. So, but for the most part, challenge is a challenge. So strap your nuts on and take on the challenge. So they both doing that in Cleveland. It's more pressure on Detroit because Detroit is expected to win and 30-50 ball, 38 ball. The over and under is 45.5. I picked to go over, but I ain't real confident in that pick. This might be a 10-10 type game, 10-13 type game. But the problem with Cleveland defense, if they don't mount no offense, gradually that defense is just going to get wore down. And that's the sad thing about it. Just imagine you could have an all-time great defense but your offense can't move the ball. That just lets you know that's why quarterbacks get paid the big bucks. That's why quarterbacks get paid the big bucks. That's why. So, but but yeah, it's gonna be a hat on the hat. Pretty sure they got some special things in far. They had the three eye formation. I don't know what you call that. Three backs in the eye. I mean, Drew Brees said he actually ran that when John Morton was there in New Orleans. Ran the triple option, and that's what I wanted to see. I want to see John Morton put his stamp on the run game, and it sounded like in preseason that they were just going to keep the same run scheme that they kept last year, but he added some creativity to it. That's what I like about it. I think he was going to go where Ben Johnson was going to go with the short passing game with Jahmyr Gibbs learning to catch the ball out the backfield and kind of doing more of the extension run plays, the passes in the flat, and the short passing game a little bit more with the backs. And he's got a little bit more creative with how he used the running backs. And, it's hard to believe that, you can get more creative than what Ben Johnson did. But in the run game, he has got more creative, and I'm pretty sure they got plenty lined up. So, so I like the way they're using the run game. That's what I wanted to see. That's one of my critiques. It just seemed like him and David Shaw was putting more emphasis on what they want to do in the passing game. But quite frankly, I've seen more creativity in the running game. So that's what I've liked. They're very creative in how they run in the football. Pitches, quick tosses, inside, off the tackle, inside the tackles, inside the guard. So Tate Ratledge, man, I got to give him credit. Last week, Tate Ratledge was out there moving mountains. Last week, Tate Ratledge was out there moving mountains. I was watching him, man. He was a grown-ass man out there, man. That's a big boy. He was out there literally, like, throwing people dick in the dirt. I mean, really, he was the unsung hero of that offensive line because he made a lot of key blocks last week. So, I mean, he's a big guy, bro. 6'7", and but Malik Collins and Myles Garrett, and I mean, them got them Grandel Pitt and the two good corners they got. So Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, two Big Ten guys. So unfortunately, they got to move the football. And at some point, where do you say we're gonna go to Dylan Gabriel or we gonna go to Shedeur Sanders? At what point? No. At what point? I mean, they got to answer those questions, but we'll see what happens, man. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist, hit the link tree. Find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Amazon, Kick, Twitch, wherever I'm at. Hit the link tree. It's the first link in the description. I appreciate the love and support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Like I say, more than welcome to check out anything I got going on inside that link tree. Peace.